Chosen one, do not scroll past this moment. You have been led here for a reason. This is not by chance. Heaven is speaking directly to you, and the urgency of this message is undeniable. There is a divine moment unfolding, one that is pivotal to your spiritual journey. Do not let this divine call pass you by. Heaven has narrowed time for you. It's a moment that requires immediate attention, and your response will determine the path that lies ahead. You've been feeling something deep within your spirit, an unsettled stirring, a whisper that something more is ahead, and this moment is the catalyst. The weight you feel, the pressure in your heart, is a divine invitation, not a random coincidence. You are at the precipice of a spiritual shift, and this message carries with it the weight of God's call to action. When heaven speaks with urgency, it is because timing matters, and right now, the timing is critical. This is not a gentle reminder, chosen one. This is a call to move, to take action, to respond. And the window of opportunity is limited. Heaven is speaking now, because the time for transformation has arrived. You can feel it in your heart. You know something is shifting. The urgency you feel in your spirit is not something to ignore. It's an invitation to step into alignment with God's divine plan for your life. God's timing is never random. He does not speak without purpose. And right now, He is calling you to act in His perfect timing. You may wonder why it's all happening now, or why the pressure feels so intense. But it is because God's plan for you is coming into alignment. You may have prayed for clarity, asked for guidance, and now the time for action has arrived. God does not speak in vague terms, and He does not speak when there is no reason. When God speaks with urgency, He is preparing you for something monumental. He is preparing you for breakthrough, for alignment, and for the next chapter of your journey. This is a moment of divine timing, and it is tailor-made for you. Everything you've been through, every step, every delay, every moment of waiting has led you to this point. In Scripture, we see examples of divine timing unfolding, like Esther, who was called for such a time as this, like David, who was chosen to face Goliath in the exact moment he was ready. God's timing was perfect in their lives, just as it is in yours. What you may see as a delay or confusion is merely God working behind the scenes, aligning all things for your good. This moment is a divine intersection, and it's happening now. You have been prepared for this time, chosen one. Now, chosen one, it is time for you to act. This is not the time to sit back and wait for clarity to come. The clarity you seek will come through obedience. When heaven speaks with urgency, the call to action is immediate. You are being asked to step forward in faith, even when the full picture hasn't been revealed. God has already given you everything you need to move forward. What are you waiting for? If you wait for the perfect moment, the moment will pass. Heaven has opened the door, and it's time for you to walk through it. Do not hesitate. Do not second-guess the divine call that has been placed on your heart. The urgency you feel is not there to make you anxious. It's there to prepare you for what's coming. The call to act may feel uncomfortable. It may not make sense in the natural, but this is where faith and obedience intersect. The act of faith required here is not one of complete understanding, but one of trust. Trust that God is leading you. Trust that His timing is perfect. Trust that His plans are far greater than your own. When God calls, He provides the strength and guidance you need. Your part is to walk in obedience and to trust that He has already made a way. Heaven is speaking to you now, and the call is clear. step forward in faith. Do not scroll past this moment. This is your moment. This is the time for action, the time to align with God's will, and the time to walk into the divine purpose He has prepared for you. Chosen one, how will you respond? This is your moment, the moment of divine opportunity. The choice is yours. Will you step forward with faith, trusting in God's plan? Or will you let fear or doubt hold you back? If you feel this message stirring within you, take action now. Write 999 or 777 in the comments as an agreement to step into this divine season with faith and obedience. Let this act of faith be your declaration that you are ready to walk into God's perfect timing for your life. Share this message with others who need to hear it, and subscribe to stay connected with the ongoing guidance that heaven is releasing. God is calling you, and now is the time to respond. Don't wait, don't scroll. Act now and walk forward into the divine purpose He has set before you. Your moment of breakthrough is here. Don't let it pass by. The time for transformation has come, and heaven is waiting for you to take the next step. Chosen one, now is the time to move. Heaven is calling you, and this call is not by accident. It is intentional, urgent, and filled with divine purpose. God has been waiting for this moment, and so have you. Your life, your destiny, your purpose are aligned for a divine breakthrough. But there's something important you need to understand. In order for this breakthrough to manifest, you must act. This is not the time to sit back and wait for everything to make sense. God has already set the stage, and He is calling you to step forward. His timing is perfect, but your response is required. The call you are feeling in your heart, the urgency stirring within you, is not meant to overwhelm you, but to guide you into what God has prepared for you. You may not have all the answers right now, and that's okay. What matters is that you move in obedience, trusting that God has gone before you and is leading you to something greater. The time is now, and it's up to you to step forward. God is calling you to take action, and as you do, He will meet you every step of the way. Don't wait. Don't second-guess the divine invitation that is in front of you. Move forward with faith, knowing that God has a plan, and He's guiding you toward your destiny. Chosen one, as you stand at the crossroads of your destiny, it's essential to remember that hesitation only prolongs the blessings that God has already set aside for you. The moment you've been waiting for is not something that will come later. It's here now, waiting for you to take that first step. God is not asking you to know every detail of the journey. He is asking for your trust and obedience. The divine invitation you are receiving is a call to trust God's plan, even when the full picture isn't yet clear. You are not expected to have all the answers, nor will the path always be easy to see. What matters is that you are willing to move forward in faith. Each step you take in obedience strengthens your relationship with God and positions you for the blessings that are about to unfold in your life. There is a reason God is calling you now. He knows what's ahead, and He's making a way for you. The breakthrough that awaits you is already in motion, but it's only when you step out in faith that you will begin to see it manifest. God has already prepared everything you need for this moment. The people, the opportunities, the resources, all of it is waiting for you to act. And as you step forward, you will find that everything you need will be provided in God's perfect timing. Don't let fear or doubt hold you back. Fear often rises when we are on the brink of stepping into something new, but it's also a sign that something significant is about to happen. When fear comes, It often means that the enemy is trying to keep you from your divine purpose. But remember, you are not alone in this. God has equipped you, and Archangel Michael is standing guard, ready to guide you through every challenge and into every opportunity. You are protected, you are covered, and you are called to walk in boldness. Even in moments when the path ahead seems uncertain or you feel overwhelmed, know that God's presence is with you. He has gone before you, clearing obstacles and removing distractions that would hinder your progress. You are stepping into the plans He has already set into motion. And this moment of action is the key to unlocking the next chapter of your life. Now is the time to take action. No more waiting, no more procrastination, and no more wondering when your breakthrough will come. The time is now. The door is open, and God is calling you to walk through it with confidence. Each step you take forward is a step into divine alignment, into the life you were always meant to live. Trust that God has prepared you for this moment, and He will continue to guide you every step of the way. Your obedience in this season will not only lead you to your breakthrough, but will also set the course for future generations. The impact of your faithfulness will ripple far beyond what you can see right now. Trust in the process. Trust in God's timing and take that first step forward. As you do, you will discover that the blessings you have been waiting for are already within reach, ready to be poured into your life. Don't wait for everything to make sense. Take the leap. Trust that as you move forward, God will provide everything you need. Every resource, every connection, every opportunity will align perfectly with His plan. You are not just stepping into your future, you are stepping into the fulfillment of God's divine purpose for your life. The time to act is now. Step forward in faith and watch as God unfolds the divine destiny He has prepared for you. Obedience carries weight. It's not just about following instructions. It's about aligning yourself with God's perfect will and trust in His divine timing. When God speaks and calls you to act, there's a purpose behind it. Your obedience will unlock the doors to the transformation and blessings that have been waiting for you. Obedience can feel heavy at times. It's not always easy to trust when the path is unclear or when you're stepping into the unknown. But the weight of obedience is not meant to crush you. It's meant to carry you into your divine purpose. The steps you take today, even if they feel small or uncertain, are positioning you for greater things. God is asking for your obedience, not because He needs it, but because He wants to align your heart with His will, so that you can fully step into the destiny He has for you. As you obey, you will begin to see how your obedience shapes your life. What may have seemed like a detour or an obstacle will now become a stepping stone, leading you toward the breakthrough you've been praying for. The urgency you feel is a reminder that God is moving you into the next season, and your obedience is key to unlocking the doors that are before you. Chosen one, as you continue to move forward in obedience, remember that every step you take is significant, even when you cannot see the full outcome yet. God's plan for you is far greater than what you can imagine, and your willingness to walk in obedience is the key that unlocks the path to your divine destiny. It's not always easy. Obedience requires trust, surrender, and a willingness to step out into the unknown. But it is in these moments of faith that God's power is made perfect in your life. There are times when the weight of obedience may feel overwhelming, when you question whether you're on the right path. But God is faithful, and He will never ask you to do something without equipping you for it. His timing is perfect, and every step you take in alignment with His will is a step toward transformation. The obedience you show today will open doors that were once closed, and it will position you to receive the blessings that God has prepared for you in this season. This divine obedience does not just affect your own life, it extends beyond you, affecting your family, your community, and those around you. As you obey God, you become a vessel through which His blessings flow, not just for your own benefit, but to impact the world. You may not see the immediate results of your obedience, but trust that the seed you plant today will bear fruit in the days to come. God's work in your life is far-reaching, and your obedience is positioning you to be part of something bigger than yourself. Sometimes, obedience requires you to let go of what is familiar or comfortable. It may ask you to step away from relationships, habits, or situations that no longer serve your divine purpose. But in letting go, you create space for God to move in ways you've never seen before. Trust that He is guiding you to where you need to be, even when it feels like you're walking into uncharted territory. The unknown is often the place where God does His greatest work, where He transforms your heart, stretches your faith, and prepares you for what's next. God has already gone before you, clearing the way, preparing opportunities, and aligning the people you need to fulfill your purpose. But He is also waiting for you to take that first step. The doors that are before you are not locked. They are open, waiting for you to walk through in faith. You don't have to know all the details, and you don't have to have everything figured out. What matters is that you trust God enough to take that step of obedience, knowing that He will meet you where you are and guide you to where you need to be. As you move forward, keep your eyes on God's promises. Remember, His word will not return void, and His promises are yes and amen. Every act of obedience, no matter how small it seems, is aligning you more and more with His perfect will. You are becoming the person God created you to be, strong, faithful, and filled with His purpose. Your obedience is building the foundation for your breakthrough, and each step you take is part of God's divine design. God's call to obedience is not about perfection, it's about willingness. It's not about having all the answers or being completely sure of yourself. It's about trusting in Him, even when you don't understand the full picture. It's about following His voice, even when the path ahead seems unclear. And as you take each step, He will provide the clarity, strength, and peace you need. With every act of obedience, you are getting closer to the person He has called you to be, and closer to the divine purpose He has for your life. Remember that obedience is not a one-time decision. It's a lifestyle. It's about consistently choosing God's way over your own. It's about aligning your thoughts, actions, and heart with His will every day. The more you walk in obedience, the clearer His voice becomes, the stronger your faith grows, and the more confident you become in His plan for your life. So, choose obedience today. Trust that God is guiding you, even when you don't see the whole path ahead. Take that first step and know that He is with you every step of the way. The doors of transformation are open, and your obedience is the key to stepping into the abundant future God has prepared for you. Keep moving forward in faith, knowing that every step you take in obedience is drawing you closer to your divine destiny. Chosen one, you are on the brink of something big. This is your moment of activation, when your destiny aligns with the divine purpose God has been preparing for you. What you do next is pivotal. It's not just a small decision. It's a choice that will shape the course of your future. God has been preparing you for this time long before you could even see it. All the struggles, the waiting, the moments of uncertainty were part of His divine plan to position you for the future He has for you. Now, you are standing at the threshold of activation. The decisions you make now will propel you forward into the fullness of what God has for you. Step boldly into your purpose. Trust that God has already equipped you for this moment. Even if you don't feel fully ready or confident, remember that your faith in His timing and plan is enough. God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called. Your obedience, your willingness to move in faith is what activates your destiny. This is the moment when everything changes. The stirring in your spirit, the urgency you feel is your sign that transformation is near. As you step into your divine purpose with boldness and trust, you are walking in alignment with God's perfect plan. Your actions today will shape the future you step into tomorrow. Trust God, move with faith, and embrace the activation of your destiny. It's happening now. Chosen one, you are on the brink of something big. This is your moment of activation when your destiny aligns with the divine purpose God has been preparing for you. What you do next is pivotal. It's not just a small decision. It's a choice that will shape the course of your future. God has been preparing you for this time long before you could even see it. All the struggles, the waiting, the moments of uncertainty were part of His divine plan to position you for the future He has for you. Now, you are standing at the threshold of activation. The decisions you make now will propel you forward into the fullness of what God has for you. Step boldly into your purpose. Trust that God has already equipped you for this moment. Even if you don't feel fully ready or confident, remember that your faith in His timing and plan is enough. God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called. Your obedience, your willingness to move in faith is what activates your destiny. This is the moment when everything changes. The stirring in your spirit, the urgency you feel is your sign that transformation is near. As you step into your divine purpose with boldness and trust, you are walking in alignment with God's perfect plan. Your actions today will shape the future you step into tomorrow. Trust God, move with faith, and embrace the activation of your destiny. It's happening now. Chosen one, this is the moment you've been waiting for. It may feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, but it's not a burden. It's the divine purpose calling you forward. You are standing at the threshold of something extraordinary. Every moment of waiting, every season of struggle has led you here to this precise moment where your destiny is about to unfold. The time for hesitation is over. You are being activated into the purpose God has always had for you. It's easy to feel uncertain, especially when the path ahead is unclear. But let me remind you, God doesn't call you into the unknown without purpose. He has already prepared you, even when you couldn't see it. Every trial, every challenge, every step you took that seemed like a detour was actually God's way of strengthening you for this moment. He was aligning your heart, sharpening your spirit, and positioning you for what's about to come. You might not feel fully ready. You might not feel like you have all the answers. But that's the beauty of God's plan. He doesn't need your perfection. He just needs your obedience. He doesn't need your confidence. He just needs your willingness to trust Him. You are not stepping into something unknown without His guidance. God has already gone before you, preparing the way. You are walking into a season of divine provision, divine favor, and divine alignment. This moment is not an accident. It is a divine setup. You were meant to be here. You were designed for this. The stirring in your spirit is God's confirmation that transformation is on the horizon. The urgency you feel is a sign that you are about to step into the fullness of what God has for you. You are no longer waiting for something to happen. You are now the one who is moving into position. This is the activation of your destiny. Think about the lives of biblical figures who answered God's call, even when it didn't make sense. Noah built an ark when there was no sign of rain. Joseph endured hardship because he trusted that God's plan was greater than his current circumstances. Esther stepped forward in the face of danger because she knew God had placed her in a position for such a time as this. They didn't have all the answers, but they had faith, and their obedience activated their destinies in ways that changed the course of history. You are called for such a time as this. The time is now for you to step forward in boldness, trusting that God has already equipped you for the journey. Even when you don't fully understand, take that first step. With each step, you will see God's provision unfold. You will feel His presence guiding you, and your faith will grow stronger. God is not asking for perfection. He is asking for your obedience. Your willingness to move forward in faith will open doors that were once closed and bring transformation that only He can provide. You may feel fear or doubt creeping in, and that's okay. Every great leap of faith comes with moments of fear. But remember, fear is not a sign that you are not ready. It's a sign that you are stepping into something that requires divine courage. God is not asking you to overcome fear on your own. He is right there with you, walking beside you, strengthening you with every step you take. You are not meant to walk this path alone. He is with you every step of the way, and His perfect timing will lead you to where you need to go. As you move forward, trust in God's provision. When you step into your divine purpose, He will provide the resources, the people, and the opportunities that are aligned with your calling. You do not need to know everything right now. What you need is to trust in His plan and obey the promptings in your spirit. God is moving you into a season of alignment. Everything that has happened so far has been preparation for this moment. Your obedience today is the key to unlocking the blessings that God has waiting for you. This is not a time to look back. The past has shaped you, but it will not define you. You are stepping into something new, something greater than you've ever known. The challenges you've faced, the mistakes you've made, they are part of your story, but they do not define your destiny. You are a new creation in Christ, and He is calling you forward into the fullness of what He has for you. It's time to stop waiting for the perfect moment and start walking in the purpose that has been waiting for you. Every step you take in obedience is a step toward your breakthrough. It's time to move forward, knowing that God has already gone before you, making a way where there seems to be no way. Trust that His plans for you are good, and His timing is perfect. So, chosen. 1. As you take this step, know that you are not stepping into the unknown alone. You are stepping into the arms of a loving Father who has been preparing you for this moment. Every challenge you faced, every season of waiting, has been shaping you for this divine purpose. Trust that your faith, your obedience, and your willingness to step forward will activate your destiny in ways that will exceed your expectations. This is your time. Step into it boldly. Your destiny is waiting, and God is leading the way. Chosen one obedience doesn't always require clarity, certainty, or even complete confidence. It requires trust. You may not see the entire path ahead, and that's okay. In fact, it's often the case that God calls us to move forward without revealing every detail. Fear is natural in these moments, but it doesn't disqualify you. In fact, it's in the moments of fear and uncertainty that your faith becomes the most powerful. It's when you step out in obedience, despite not having all the answers, that God meets you and guides you through. The path may not always seem clear, but your faith can carry you forward. You don't need to have perfect clarity or confidence to move. What matters is your willingness to trust in God's perfect timing and to take the first step, even if you don't fully understand the journey. It's when you take action, despite fear and uncertainty, that you demonstrate faith. Remember, God's word is a light to your feet, not a spotlight on the whole journey. He doesn't need you to see the entire picture. He only needs your willingness to step into what He's calling you to. Your obedience in these uncertain moments will unlock the clarity and strength you need along the way. When we're asked to take steps in obedience, it often feels like we're walking in the dark, unsure of what's ahead. It's easy to get caught in the fear of the unknown, but it's precisely in these moments that our trust in God's plan is tested. Trust is the foundation of obedience. God doesn't require perfection. He only requires that we trust Him to guide us as we go. The beauty of faith is that it allows us to move forward with certainty, not because we can see everything clearly, but because we know God sees it all. You may feel like you're walking a path with more questions than answers, but God is saying, trust me. Move forward, even without seeing the entire road. This step of faith, even in uncertainty, is what proves our trust in God. Faith isn't just about what we see. It's about believing in what we cannot see, knowing that God's plans are greater than our understanding. He has mapped out the path before you, and though it may feel like you're venturing into unfamiliar territory, rest assured, He is right there guiding each step. This is what makes obedience powerful. It doesn't depend on the fullness of the vision, but on the trust in the one who holds that vision. You can move forward because you believe God will provide what you need when you need it. The clarity, the strength, and the wisdom will come as you step in faith, one moment at a time. So don't be afraid to move forward when the path seems unclear. God is your guide, and with each step, the way will become more and more evident. One of the most challenging aspects of obedience is surrendering control. It's natural to want to have everything figured out, to know exactly where you're going and how things will unfold. But God doesn't always work in ways that align with our need for control. In fact, He often asks us to release our hold on situations, trusting Him to orchestrate the details. Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means giving in to God's perfect will. It's saying, Lord, I don't have to have all the answers, but I trust You to lead me where I need to go. It's a declaration of faith that you're not just willing to follow, but ready to follow His direction, even when it's not what you expected, or even when you don't fully understand it. God's purpose for your life is bigger than your ability to understand. He has a plan that is far greater than you can imagine. And when He asks you to move in obedience, He's not only setting you up for success, but refining your character along the way. The beauty of surrender is that it allows God's will to come to life in you. When you surrender control, you give Him space to work, knowing that His plans are far more detailed and perfect than you could ever plan for yourself. Surrender is what makes faith powerful. It is the decision to trust when logic doesn't have all the answers, to move when your emotions feel uncertain, and to walk when the road ahead seems unclear. But when you let go, that's when the breakthroughs happen. When God calls you to move in obedience, He's not just asking you to follow a path. He's inviting you to step into your destiny. Every time you obey, you are moving closer to the purpose He has set for you. That path of uncertainty is actually the journey of fulfillment. It may feel uncomfortable, and it may challenge you, but each step in obedience leads you closer to the divine purpose God has planned for you. Obedience isn't always a straight path. Sometimes you'll have moments of doubt, fear, and uncertainty. But it's in those moments, when you choose to obey, despite not having the full picture, that God's purpose unfolds before you. When you step in faith, even when things are unclear, God opens doors you never thought possible. You begin to see His plan unfolding in your life in ways you didn't anticipate. God's call to obedience is a call to step into your purpose with boldness. It's not about waiting for everything to line up perfectly before you take action. It's about trusting that what God is asking of you right now will lead you to where you need to go. Your faith will ignite a movement that will lead to transformation, both in your life and in the lives of those around you. You were created for a purpose far beyond what you can imagine. God has equipped you with everything you need to fulfill His plan, even when it feels like you're stepping into the unknown. Every action of obedience, every small step of faith will bring you closer to that purpose. It's not about understanding everything at once. It's about moving in trust, knowing that God is leading you with a steady hand. So, even if it feels uncomfortable, take that step. Even if you don't have all the answers, move forward. Your obedience is what activates your destiny. Your willingness to trust, to step out in faith, even when the path is unclear, is the key to unlocking everything God has in store for you. When you choose to obey and move forward, you're choosing to move in confidence. Confidence that God is guiding your steps and preparing you for what's to come. Confidence that His plan will unfold as you trust Him with each step. Confidence that He is working all things together for your good. God's call to you today is a call to step out in faith, to trust that the next step, even if it feels small, is leading you exactly where you need to go. He is equipping you with the strength, wisdom, and courage to continue moving forward, even when it feels uncertain. Your next step may not make sense now, but trust that God will reveal it to you in His timing. With each step of obedience, you'll see His provision, His guidance, and His favor unfold in ways you never imagined. Remember, the road ahead may not always be clear, but with God's guidance, you will find the way. His faithfulness will see you through. And as you obey, you will begin to see the transformation that He has been preparing in you. Keep moving forward, chosen one, and trust that God is with you every step of the way. Surrendering to God's will is one of the most powerful acts of faith. It's about letting go of the need to control every detail and trusting that God knows the bigger picture. In surrender, you release your fears, your plans, and your timeline, and open your heart to God's perfect will. Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means giving in to God's direction, trusting that He will reveal the next step when the time is right. This is where true faith is tested, not in the moments when you have all the answers, but when you must surrender, control, and trust that God will lead you. Surrender is an act of deep trust. It means believing that God's plans for you are greater than anything you could ever imagine. It's about understanding that your life is not your own, but His. And in His hands, you are safe, you are guided, and you are being prepared for the divine purpose He's placed inside of you. Let go of what you think you need to control and trust that God's timing and plan will bring the most beautiful outcome. Surrendering to God's will is an ongoing process, a continuous act of yielding yourself to His plans. It's easy to surrender when things are going smoothly, when the path is clear, and the answers seem obvious. However, the true test of surrender comes when the road is uncertain, when the future is unclear, and when it feels like you are being asked to step into the unknown. In these moments, surrender takes on a deeper, more meaningful form. God calls us to surrender not just the visible parts of our lives, but the hidden corners of our hearts, the places where fear, doubt, and control still linger. It's about inviting Him into every part of who we are and allowing Him to mold us according to His perfect will. This type of surrender isn't passive. It requires action. You don't simply wait around for God's will to unfold you. Actively choose to trust and move forward, even when you don't fully understand the path. When you surrender, you acknowledge that you don't have to have everything figured out. You release the pressure to control the outcome, knowing that God is in control. It's like taking a step in the dark, not knowing exactly where your foot will land, but trusting that God will catch you if you fall. This is where the beauty of faith shines. Faith is not about having all the answers or knowing exactly how things will unfold. It's about trusting that God will lead you step by step through the unknown, and that each step you take in surrender brings you closer to the life He has destined for you. In the Bible, we see countless examples of individuals who had to surrender their own desires, plans, and timelines to align with God's will. Take Abraham, for example. God called Abraham to leave everything he knew and journey to an unknown land. Abraham didn't know the full plan, but he trusted God's word and took that first step. His obedience and surrender led to the fulfillment of God's promises, and through him, a great nation was born. Abraham's life is a testament to the power of surrender and how God uses those willing to trust Him even when the path is unclear. Another example is Jesus Himself. In the Garden of Gethsemane, He prayed fervently, asking God if it was possible to take the cup of suffering away from Him. Yet, He ultimately surrendered, saying, "Not my will, but yours be done." In that moment, Jesus chose surrender over His own desires and fears. His obedience to God's will, even in the face of immense suffering, led to the salvation of the world. Jesus' act of surrender was not passive. It was the most powerful act of obedience ever seen. These examples show us that surrender is not about passively waiting for things to happen. It is an active choice to align our will with God's. When we surrender, we align ourselves with God's timing, which is always perfect. We begin to see that the delays, the waiting periods, and even the challenges we face are all part of God's greater plan to shape us, grow us, and position us for the fulfillment of His promises. One of the most difficult aspects of surrender is trusting God's process. We often want to fast forward to the end result, to see the manifestation of our prayers and desires right away. But God's process is just as important as the outcome. The journey He takes us on is meant to refine us, build our character, and deepen our relationship with Him. In surrender, we acknowledge that the process is just as valuable as the destination. God's process often involves stretching us beyond our comfort zones, breaking old patterns, and revealing areas in our hearts that need healing. This can be uncomfortable, but it's necessary for our growth. When we surrender to the process, we are saying, God, I trust that you know what you are doing. Even when it's hard, I trust that you are shaping me into who I need to be to fulfill your purpose. Through this process, we become more attuned to God's voice and His guidance, learning to move with His rhythm rather than our own. Surrendering to God's will also means embracing the idea that His plans are better than our own. We may have our own vision for what our lives should look like, but God's vision for us is far greater. His timing is perfect, and His ways are higher than our ways. When we surrender, we open ourselves to the fullness of what God has for us, even if it doesn't match our expectations. We trust that He sees the bigger picture and that He is guiding us towards something more fulfilling than we could have imagined on our own. One of the key components of surrender is letting go of control. We live in a world that values independence and self-sufficiency. But when it comes to walking in God's will, we must recognize that we cannot control everything. We may try to manage our circumstances, manipulate situations, or control the timing of our lives. But true surrender requires us to release that control and allow God to take the lead. Letting go of control doesn't mean abandoning responsibility. It means acknowledging that God is sovereign and that we trust His plan for us. When we let go of control, we are free to move forward in faith without being weighed down by worry or fear. It's like holding a heavy weight in your hands, only to realize that God is waiting to take it from you. When you surrender control, you allow God to carry the burdens that were never meant for you to carry alone. Surrender is not a one-time decision. It's a daily choice. Every day, we have the opportunity to surrender our will to God and trust in His plan. It's in the small, everyday decisions that our surrender is proven. Whether it's choosing to forgive someone who has hurt us, trusting God with our finances, or stepping out in faith when we don't know what the future holds, each act of surrender brings us closer to the person God is calling us to be. The more we surrender, the more we experience God's peace, His presence, and His guidance. Surrender isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace, knowing that it's the path to true freedom. When we surrender, we are not giving up our power. We are allowing God's power to work through us. We are positioning ourselves to walk in the fullness of His calling for our lives. Surrender is not about weakness. It's about strength. It's about trusting that the Creator of the universe has a purpose for your life and that His plans are far greater than anything you could ever imagine. It's about embracing the unknown, knowing that God is with you every step of the way. Surrendering to God's will allows you to step into a life of peace, purpose, and fulfillment. If you are feeling the weight of surrender, know that it is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to position you for something greater. Trust in God's timing, release control, and step forward in faith. As you surrender, you will experience the beauty of God's plan unfolding in your life. Let go of what you think you need to control and trust that God's will bring the most beautiful outcome. The journey of surrender is the journey to your divine purpose. It's time to move in faith, chosen one. This isn't the moment to wait for perfect clarity or a guarantee of success. It's the time to act on the promptings you've received, even if you don't have all the answers. Faith is a practical step forward. It's not just believing in something, but moving in the direction of that belief. Trust that each step, no matter how small it may seem, is part of the bigger plan God has for your life. When you act in faith, God meets you where you are and guides you to where you need to be. You may not have everything figured out, and that's okay. Faith doesn't require all the answers, it requires movement. When you take action, even in the uncertainty, you open yourself up to the fullness of what God has for you. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect circumstances. Trust God in every step, knowing that He will reveal the next step in His timing. The only way to truly experience the fullness of God's plan for your life is to move forward in faith, trusting that He will guide you every step of the way. Keep moving, keep trusting, and keep believing that what you are stepping into is part of a greater divine purpose. Chosen one, as you step forward, remember that faith is not static. It's active. It's a journey. Often the hardest part is the first step, the moment when everything feels uncertain and you can't see the entire picture. But that's when faith does its most powerful work. You don't need to have it all figured out, and God doesn't expect you to have every detail in place before you move. His call to you is not to wait for everything to align perfectly, but to move with trust, knowing that He will guide you through the process. When you choose to move in faith, even when it feels like you're walking in the dark, you're aligning yourself with God's timing and plan. It's like walking with a flashlight that only shines a few steps ahead. You can't see the entire journey, but you trust that as you take those steps, the light will continue to guide you. This is what faith looks like. It's trusting that even if you can't see the whole picture, the next step will be revealed to you in God's perfect timing. God doesn't call the equipped, He equips the called. This means that you don't have to have all the skills, resources, or answers to fulfill your divine purpose. God is the one who provides everything you need. He will supply the strength, the wisdom, and the courage for you to carry out what He has placed on your heart. Your role is to trust and take action. When you do this, you're partnering with God, allowing His power to flow through you and into the world around you. Sometimes, the steps you take in faith will not make sense in the natural world. They may feel risky or illogical, but that's the beauty of faith. It's not based on what you can see, but on what you believe. It's trusting that God knows the end from the beginning, and that His plans are always for your good. Even when the world around you seems uncertain, you can be certain of one thing. God's plan for your life is filled with hope, purpose, and a future that only He can provide. Remember that God's timeline is different from ours. He's not in a rush. While we may want immediate results, God's process is perfect and always for our benefit. His timing ensures that we are fully prepared for the next season of our life. If we were to jump ahead without proper preparation, we may miss the lessons that shape us and the strength we need to carry out the purpose He has for us. Trusting in God's timing allows us to grow, to mature, and to become the people we need to be to fulfill His plan. It's easy to get discouraged when the answers don't come quickly or when things don't seem to be moving as fast as we would like. But remember, God's delays are not denials. Just because things aren't happening on your timeline doesn't mean God has forgotten you. He's working in the background, setting everything in motion. And when the time is right, things will fall into place. Keep moving in faith, Keep trusting in His perfect plan, and know that everything you need will come at just the right time. Each step you take in obedience, each act of faith is creating the foundation for the breakthrough you've been waiting for. God is building your capacity to hold the blessings He's about to pour into your life. When you act in faith, you are not just moving forward for your own benefit. You are preparing to be a vessel for God's glory, a channel through which His love, light, and blessings will flow to others. Your obedience to His call is not just for you, it's for the people around you who need to see God's power in action. As you continue to walk in faith, don't be discouraged by the obstacles you encounter. Remember that every challenge is an opportunity for God to show His power in your life. Every setback is a setup for a greater comeback. You are not walking this journey alone. God is with you every step of the way, and His angels, including Archangel Michael, are actively guiding and protecting you. You have a divine support system that is working behind the scenes to ensure that you stay on track and fulfill your purpose. There will be times when fear tries to take hold, when doubts creep in and make you question if you're on the right path. But in those moments, remember that fear and faith cannot coexist. Fear wants to keep you stuck, to keep you from moving forward, but faith propels you toward your destiny. Choose to trust God's word over the lies that fear tries to tell you. Stand firm in the truth that God has called you for such a time as this, and He will not leave you or forsake you. Faith is the key that unlocks the door to your destiny. You may not see everything yet, but with every step you take in faith, you are moving closer to the fullness of what God has planned for you. Trust the process, trust His timing, and trust that He is always working things out for your good. Your obedience will unlock doors that you never thought possible. Keep moving forward in faith, and know that you are stepping into a future filled with divine purpose, provision, and blessings. This is your moment, chosen one. Step forward in faith, knowing that God is with you, guiding you, and equipping you for everything He has in store. Your journey is just beginning, and the best is yet to come. Keep trusting, keep moving, and keep believing that God is faithful to complete the good work He has started in you. Keep stepping into the future He's preparing for you, and watch as He makes the impossible possible. Chosen one, it's time to make a declaration. Your words have power, and when you speak or write with faith, you are agreeing with what God is doing in your life. This is a pivotal moment for you, and the action you take now will serve as a sign of your commitment to walk in faith and alignment with God's will. In the comments, write 999 or 777 as a public declaration of your readiness to move in faith. This isn't just a number, it's a spiritual agreement between you and God, a commitment to step forward in obedience, to trust Him, even when the path is unclear, and to move with the divine urgency that has been placed in your heart. By writing 999 or 777, you are acknowledging that you are no longer waiting for everything to be perfect. You're agreeing with God's timing and calling, and you are saying yes to the next step, even if you don't see the full picture yet. This declaration is not just for you. It's for heaven to see, to align your faith with the purpose God has set for you. You are standing in agreement with the divine invitation to step into your calling. This is your moment to walk boldly with trust in God's plan and with full commitment to His direction. In addition to declaring your readiness, I encourage you to share this message with those around you. If you found this word stirring in your spirit, there are others who need to hear it too. There are people in your life, whether family, friends, or even strangers, who are walking through uncertainty and need divine guidance. Share this message with them. Your sharing is not just about passing on words, it's about giving someone else the chance to walk in alignment with God's will too. By sharing this message, you are extending God's kingdom, spreading the light of His truth, and giving others the hope they need to continue their own journeys. You may not know how far your words or your actions can reach, but every time you share God's truth, you're planting seeds that will grow in someone else's life. Just as you have been given the message of transformation, you are now being called to pass it on, to be the vessel through which God's love and encouragement flow to others. And don't forget to subscribe. Stay connected to this stream of messages. Stay aligned with God's will and continue to receive the spiritual guidance that He has for you. Subscribing isn't just about getting updates on more videos. It's about staying connected to a flow of encouragement and direction that will keep you rooted in the purpose that God has placed on your life. These messages are here to equip you, to guide you, and to remind you of God's faithfulness and His promises for your life. God is speaking to you now, and as you walk forward, you will continue to receive the guidance you need to fulfill His plan. Subscribing is a way to remain in constant alignment with God's timing and direction. It's not just a passive act. It's a declaration that you are committed to hearing from heaven, to moving forward in faith, and to being open to the next step He has for you. You may have been feeling the stirring in your spirit, the pull towards something greater. And now is the time to take action. Don't wait for perfect clarity. Don't wait for everything to make sense. The time for waiting is over. You are being called to move to trust and to walk in the fullness of God's purpose for your life. Write 999 or 777 in the comments. Share this message with those who need it, and subscribe to stay aligned with God's will. In the process of moving in faith, remember that you are not alone. Heaven is with you, and Archangel Michael is by your side, clearing the way and guiding you to divine opportunities. You are walking with purpose, and with each step, you are aligning yourself more and more with God's plan for your life. This is the time of activation. You are being called to move to trust and to step boldly into your divine purpose. The urgency is real, but it is not meant to overwhelm you. It's meant to propel you forward into everything God has in store for you. Your obedience today will unlock the blessings of tomorrow. Write 999 or 777 to declare your readiness. Share this message with those who need it, and subscribe for continued guidance. God is moving, and He is calling you to move with Him. The journey of purpose alignment and divine breakthrough is just beginning. Stay with it. Stay committed, and watch how God unfolds His plan in your life. In conclusion, your journey is about to change. God is calling you to step forward in faith, and as you do, He will meet you with the clarity, provision, and protection you need. This is the season of activation. The urgency you feel is not to pressure you, but to prepare you for what's ahead. Write 999 or 777 in the comments. Share this message with others, and subscribe to stay in tune with God's voice. Keep trusting, keep moving, and keep believing, because the best is yet to come. God bless you. Chosen one, this is more than just a message. It's a divine turning point in your life. Right now, You stand on the edge of something monumental, and God has orchestrated everything leading up to this moment. This is not by chance. You didn't just stumble upon this message. God Himself has led you here. You are being invited into something great, something transformative, something that will change the course of your life forever. This is a divine invitation to step into the fullness of His plan for you. The urgency you feel in your spirit, the stirring deep within your heart, is not a random emotion. It's heaven's call for you to take action now, to move with purpose, to trust in God's timing, and to step into the destiny that has been waiting for you. The decisions you make today will determine the course of your future. The path ahead may not be clear, but the invitation to walk in faith is crystal clear. The moment you step forward in obedience, everything will begin to align, and the breakthroughs you've been waiting for will start to unfold. But this moment of divine invitation requires your response. This isn't a time for hesitation, uncertainty, or waiting for everything to make sense. It's a time for action, for stepping boldly in faith, trusting that God has already gone ahead of you to prepare the way. You may not have all the answers, but God doesn't need you to have it all figured out. What He needs is your willingness to move with Him, to trust His plan, and to walk in alignment with His will. As you do, you will begin to see the doors open, the path made clear, and the blessings pour into your life. Now, more than ever, is the time for action. The season of waiting is over. The moment for transformation is here. This divine invitation is an opportunity that cannot be missed. Heaven is waiting for you to take that first step, to walk in obedience, to trust in the process, and to step into the destiny that has been prepared for you. Don't let fear, doubt, or confusion hold you back from walking into the breakthrough that's waiting for you. Trust in God's plan and step boldly into the future He has for you. As you take this step in faith, remember that this is a transformative moment. Your life will never be the same again. You are not walking into the unknown alone. God is with you every step of the way. He has already gone before you, clearing the path, preparing the way, and making sure that every obstacle is removed. The breakthroughs that await you are not just about your success. They are about the fulfillment of God's plan for your life. Every step you take will bring you closer to the purpose He has placed inside of you. Now, I invite you to embrace the transformative power of faith and obedience. When you respond to God's call, when you move in faith, you are opening the door to a season of breakthroughs, favor, and divine alignment. This is a time of spiritual awakening where God's plans for your life begin to unfold in ways you never imagined. Trust that what He has started in you, He will bring to completion. His timing is perfect, and His plan for you is filled with hope, promise, and purpose. Embrace the power of faith and obedience, for they are the keys to unlocking the next chapter of your journey. As you step forward in obedience, you are aligning yourself with God's will, and everything you need will begin to fall into place. The favor of God will surround you, and the doors that have been closed will open wide. The blessings that have been held back are now being released into your life, and they will overflow beyond what you could ever imagine. So, chosen one, don't let this moment pass. Take action now. Step forward with faith and trust in God's plan. You are walking into a season of divine alignment, where every step you take will lead you closer to your divine purpose. God has prepared you for this moment, and the breakthrough you've been waiting for is just around the corner. Let go of fear and doubt. and walk confidently into your destiny. Your faith will carry you through, and as you obey, you will see the miraculous unfold before your eyes. This is your moment of transformation, and you are being called to rise up and walk in the fullness of what God has for you. Step into this new season with boldness, knowing that God is with you every step of the way. Your destiny is calling, and the time to respond is now. In closing, I encourage you to take that first step. Respond to God's call with faith and obedience. Trust that He has already prepared the way, and step into your destiny with confidence. This is the moment that will define the rest of your life. The breakthrough you've been waiting for is coming, and it all begins with the decision to step forward in faith. Trust God, move with Him, and watch as He unfolds His plan for you in ways you never thought possible. You are chosen for such a time as this. Trust His timing, trust His plan, and step boldly into the future He has for you.